Morning, guys. How is everybody doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Vince. How about you?
Man, I am borderline incredible, Emily. Borderline incredible. Stefan, how are you?
Good, Vince. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, brother. I'm really good.
Good.
How's your week going so far?
It's going great, man. Been mixing it up a lot with a lot of outdoor activity as well as, your guys' classes have been fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How are the live classes going for you?
I haven't done one. Barb's done it, and she's really enjoyed them.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure because kind of for a little bit, that's how we're trying to dial those live classes in. I also want to get in, hopefully I'll get with Gabe and we'll get some, I want to do some facilitated stretching for you guys, some active meditation. I want to do some work for seniors, movement type stuff. So guys, as you're joining, if you could mute your devices, that would be great. For some reason, guys, bear with me because I'm having to admit everybody into the meeting now. I think it's because Zoom is getting pounded with people doing this stuff. So now they're making you password and admit people to the meetings. So Gabe and I just found that out this morning. Clearly nobody decided to tell us. So that's okay. It's just another quirk that we worked through, and it's another learning experience, I think. So that's a good thing.
Hey, Stefan, did he just call you a senior?
Yeah, we're almost there. I think I'm a year away.
Hey, so to me, pretty much everybody's a youngster.
Yeah. Vince, a lot of Zoom jacking going on right now. People are getting infiltrated, so they're really tightening up Zoom security.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see a lot of that now. So what Stefan's talking about, guys, if you're just joining on, I'm having to admit everybody into my chat room that I know of. So far, everybody that's on right now, participant-wise, I'm looking at about 11. I know everybody, so it's a good thing. Guys, if you haven't muted your devices yet, please go ahead and mute the devices. I'll get going here in just a minute or so. Just trying to check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing. Stacy Wall, good morning. I got you admitted. That's nice. So just kind of checking in with everybody, and feel free to kind of pipe in if you don't mind. How is everybody doing? You can give me a thumbs up. You can unmute for a second and tell me you're doing great.
We're good.
Good. Shannon, good. Karen Terry, good morning.
Good morning.
Rodney Bingman, good morning. Maria, good morning.
Doing good.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing out there? You staying focused? Now, I know the answer to that question. Because we've been
part of the day.
Okay, because I've been talking to quite a few people, and I'm going to gear my talk today a little bit in that direction. Make sure, guys, that everybody mutes their device. Please mute that device. Morning, Jana. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, and great to see everybody. For a little bit here, this is going to be our little sense of community, and this is not a bad thing, okay? This is not a bad thing. This is a way of doing something new. We've been spending a lot of our time, folks. Let me back up. Yesterday, I was talking to quite a few people, and people from the morning, people from the afternoon, and there was one key theme. And the key theme is how we as United States citizens are responding to this crisis, this pandemic. And the theme, without even me soliciting it from people, the theme was, we have become soft in the United States. And I was taken back. I was taken aback a little bit by the general response being the same. Baba, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gotta mute your device, Miss Nicole. Don't worry, I did it for you. But we've become soft. So I kind of want to start there, and then I'm going to spread out a little bit. So for today's purposes, I'm going to talk about pivoting and being resilient to start with. Then I'm going to move into stress, and I want to go a little bit deeper than what I talked about in the Facebook Live for any of you who did or did not see it. I talked about stress in the body and a little bit about de-stressing. And then the other thing I want to talk about is your purpose, your purpose. I did a little, good morning, Kate. I did a little bit of a little spoof on that a while back for our weight loss challenge people. And I kind of want to revisit that because I think that's really where we need to go back to. I think we tend to get away from things when it becomes hard, when you have to refocus on your purpose. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into some of that today. So let's talk about this theme. And it was both males and females about how we've gotten comfortable as U.S. citizens. And when something like this hits, a lot of people panic. And so when they panic, you know, day one, day two, it's not so bad. But when you start getting into a week and 2 weeks, you know, you start to find out how resilient people become. And you really kind of find out how people haven't pivoted to the situation. Life sometimes throws things at us that are unexpected, short-lived, and sometimes you don't have to make many adjustments to react to what's going on. However, this isn't the case today. We're here. We're here for, you know, another 4 weeks. You know, think about in your life where you had to go 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks and actually stick to something. It's funny, in the past 2 weeks, I have seen so many people get out of their regular routine and tell me how difficult it is to get back into a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
This way.
Yeah. Think about that. Think about the people who are having a difficult time staying in their own routine. You know, people who would get up at 8 o'clock. Hi, Carol. People who would get up and say hi to Jim for me too, please. People who would get up and, hey, Jimbo, who would get up and come to the gym, right? Hi, Caroline, get up, come to the gym. They had their regular time every day. Why aren't you doing that now? Well, I'm sleeping in a little bit longer. I'm really hard to get myself motivated. I said to somebody the other day, hard to get motivated? Don't you have value? Don't you have value? There's a gentleman and I should send it out to you guys. Maybe Gabe can do that at some point. He talks about value, and he takes a dollar bill and he crushes the dollar bill up and he throws it on the floor, and he asks the person, he says, does that bill is it still a value of $1? And the answer is yes. But then he takes the bill and he stomps on it. He throws it in the garbage can. He says, does it still have the value of $1? The answer is yes. He tears it up, tapes it back. Does it still have the value of $1? And the answer is yes. You have value. So why are you devaluing yourself by taking yourself out of what you normally do? But this week, I have to tell you, I have heard it more than I ever heard it in the first week or even in the past when the gym was open here. Right? So the first question today I'm going to ask you is, why have you devalued your health? Not who you are, but your health. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about today is stress. Now, Wednesday, I did a little Facebook Live on stress in the body. And whether you know it or not, or whether you want to believe it or not, you have symptoms of stress every single day. And the origin of it could be the situation we're in. It could be bills. It could be virtually anything. Okay. It could be the kids being home. It could be the whole family being home, and life all of a sudden has changed. So my question to you is, have you pivoted? Have you pivoted? Did you INA? Did you do that? INA. I talked about it a week ago. Did you improvise and adjust? Where did I get that from? For those of you who haven't heard this from me, way back when, and I don't want to date myself, but we were playing against Penn State one night, and I was calling the offense on the defensive line. So my coach calls me in and he says, "Hey Vince," he says, I need you to INA tonight. I said, "Coach, I don't understand." He said, "Listen to me, there's going to be about 85,000 people out here. You're not going to be able to hear me." He said, "You're probably not going to be able to see me." He said, "So I need you to INA. So I need you to improvise and adjust. Whatever it is, good, bad, or indifference, you need to improvise and adjust." I will never forget that. You are in a situation now where you have to improvise and adjust. You have to pivot. You got to be able to turn direction really quick now to make things happen for things in your life that you want to, and control the controllables, control the things you have control of. Stress is one of them. So let's talk about stress for a minute. The stress that you have in your body, the stress that you have in your life right now. And I talked to somebody yesterday who says, "I don't really have stress." Well, if you're working, you still have stress. Okay. And they may be affecting your health right now. They may be affecting your health right now, even though you might not realize it. You may think an illness you have, a headache, insomnia, and you're blaming that on the irritating headache. That's not it. That's not it. Maybe some decreased productivity. Actually, stress is the cause. In most cases, stress is the cause. So what are the common symptoms of some stress? What do we see? Headache. How does it affect you? How does it affect your mood? A lot of times it can be brought on or make you act out with anxiety. Okay. What does that make you do now? What's the behavior associated with that? Overeating or undereating. We talked about, let me just get Bonnie in here. Sorry guys, I'm just having to admit people as they're coming in. For those of you who are using Zoom, you're going to find there's some quick changes that they want to make based upon security. So it just, they're asking for all kinds of things. So overeating, undereating. It's a behavior, okay? None of which are good for you, and it will create more anxiety, and it will keep that headache around a little bit longer. And hydration, by the way, goes in that category. Muscle tension or pain. Everybody thinks that is a mobility issue. Well, it in fact could be. Brought on by what? Did you ever notice when you get up in the morning, sometimes you're a lot stiffer than you were when you went to bed at night? That's because in the morning, you are, when you're sleeping, your body tenses up. What happens to muscle tissue when it tenses up? It contracts. When it contracts, you have to get up and you have to move to make it get longer and get uncontracted, okay? So what happens with muscle tension? It creates restlessness, okay? And sometimes when you're restless, guess what happens? Angry outburst. That's the behavior. That's the behavior. Okay? So let's talk about some folks are experiencing chest pain. I'm going to give you a little story here. I won't mention names, but he's pretty close to me. I have been telling him for months, listen to me, by the nature of your job, you and your wife need to do something. You and your wife need to do something. Yeah, joke about it, da-da-da-da-da. Not yesterday, day before, his wife had a heart attack. Okay. Thank God they didn't have to go into the whole chest cavity. They went up through her groin and they put a stent in. Hopefully she'll be coming home today. It all started with chest pains, brought on by anxiety, brought on by stress. What can the chest pains cause on your mood? Lack of motivation, focus. What does it lead to? In some cases, the behavior can be, again, eating, alcohol. It could be any of those things. How about fatigue? You get a great night's sleep, but you're fatigued when you wake up. Feeling overwhelmed. We feel overwhelmed. What's the behavior there when you're feeling fatigued and overwhelmed? Well, let me get some caffeine in me. Let me get some more caffeine in me. Something to give me more energy. Folks, I talked about it a long time ago. When you're feeling lack and fatigued, what's the first thing you do? Go exercise. Go exercise. I know so many people right now who have setups at their home and don't use it. They don't use it. Why? Check all the signs above for me, please. Check them all. So let's just go there. Let's go into stomach upset. What is the effect on your mood? Sometimes sadness or depression. Sadness or depression, which makes you overeat, not work out, be angry. I can't tell you how many text messages I've seen in the past week that I can tell people are irritated. I can tell they're irritated. And they're not irritated, I don't think, at the situation, although that's the first thing you want to blame. I think you're irritated at yourself and the situation you've created for yourself in your environment. Or maybe haven't created for yourself in your environment. Okay? So let's look at sleeping problems. Right? How many people have insomnia? They're up at night. They're looking for answers. Tell me what answers you're going to find, folks, from 8 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning. How many answers are you going to find? Did you ever read the news from 8 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock in the morning? Did you notice nothing changes? Did you notice nothing changes in the news? There's no more new information for you that's going to make you make a better decision for tomorrow. But you know what will help you make a better decision for tomorrow, whatever that choice is on anything? Probably a good night's rest, getting up feeling better in the morning. Now that's a whole nother session. Well, how do I get more sleep? That's a whole different session. I think if you take care of your exercise, I think if you take care of your eating, I think if you take care of the times of day that you're doing those things, I think if you take care of your food and your hydration, I think that helps in a lot of ways for you to get a good night's rest. But if you don't get out that energy, that nervous energy that you have during the day, somehow, some way, you're going to take it into the night with you. It's going to happen. I get people who cramp at night. I get people who, have a lot of different issues going on. And a lot of it stems back to, if you look at the fuel that you're putting in your body, if you look at the hydration of what you're putting in your body, it will tell you how your car is going to run or not run. There is no, guys, I always say if there was a magic pill out there, everybody would be taking it. Everybody would be taking it, but there's not. And you know why there's not a magic pill out there? Because you guys are all different. You're all different. You're all different from me. You're all different from each other. Okay? Please, guys, mute your devices for me, please. Okay? There are two folks, I don't know who they are. Nikita and Pad. So I'm not going to admit unless somebody texts me and tell me who you are and I recognize who you are. Let me talk about how to act and manage your stress. If you are not muted, please mute. I'm hearing background noise. Bonnie, is that you?
Yeah, that's me. I'm muted.
I don't think so. If I can hear you, you're not muted. Sorry. So let's talk about managing stress. If you have stress systems, guys, that are going on, and remember, what does stress attack first? Your nervous system. Your nervous system. Okay. So if you have stress systems, here's some great advice for you. Guess what the number one thing to do if you're experiencing any kind of stress in your life, and somebody out there today tells me they're not experiencing stress in your life, you better just hang up right now because you're not telling me the truth. Okay? The first number one thing for you to do to handle your stress, get regular physical activity. And if you don't believe me, go to the Mayo Clinic. Just go to the Mayo Clinic, see what they recommend. Regular physical activity. Okay. Number two, practice some sort of relaxation techniques, meditation, yoga, deep breathing. Okay. Number three, this is a good one. Keep a sense of humor. Keep a sense of humor. So let's talk about that for a minute. How many of you in your little groups, and you don't have to answer this, you don't have to type into the chat, but I want you to think about this going forward. So I have called people this week. I have left messages for people. I can tell you right now, and I won't name names, but there are several people who don't even call me back. Why? Are you more important than that phone call back? Maybe I need that phone call back. Your coach called you. Did you call them back? Your coach asked something from you. Did you get back to them? What are we trying to do here? What's the most important thing through this entire 4-week period of time coming up, guys? Well, now 3 weeks. See, we're already down one. What's the most important thing? Is it your workout? Nah, it's not. I know, crazy for me to say that. What's the most important thing? Community. We need a sense of community. Let's face it. I can tell you right now, Kathleen's sick and tired of talking to me. She's sick and tired of talking to me. I think that happened on day one. Okay? I think that happened on day one. I'm not kidding. So I go and spend a lot of time in the backyard or whatever, you know. The kids get tired of hearing from me. And quiet as it's kept, I get tired of hearing from them. But you have a community available to you. You work out with these people at certain times. How many of you have gotten into a group chat and you don't have to chime in. I'm just giving you suggestions. How many of you have gotten together on a group chat or a Zoom call and had coffee with each other, did Family Feud with each other, maybe did a Trivia Pursuit or something with each other instead of just the family? I was talking to one of my 4 o'clock people yesterday, and you know what, 4 o'clock people, if you're on this damn line, I am ticked off with you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm ticked off with you. You know what I found out? Y'all been having group chats and leaving me out of it. Yeah, you have. You've been having group chats and leaving me out of it. Man, that's just not fair. That's not fair. Yeah, Karen Terry, you might want to talk to Chelsea about that one. Anyhow, next week I want to set up morning coffees, maybe with some of my groups, and we just chat. Just have a cup of coffee, we just chat. I don't care about the workouts. I don't want to talk about the workouts during my coffee. Okay? Now, if you have questions on it, I'll answer that. But how many of you are keeping a sense of humor about this? A sense of humor, folks. Now, the next one is it's a moot point for me, because spending time with family and friends, well, you're getting enough time with family, I'm sure. Okay, which is always a good thing. It is a good thing because you learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about how you affect them. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. It's been pretty unique in my home. So a great learning experience. How many of you have picked up different hobbies during this time? And we talked about that a little bit last week, reading a book, woodworking, I don't know, different music. But how many of you have really challenged yourself to do something different than what you're doing in your ordinary life? Think about that. Because it's so set in a routine every day that you think now is the time to just keep doing everything you've just been doing the same. No, I think it needs to be changed. It needs to be changed. Remember, we talked early on about what is the goal at the end of this for you? What is your goal at the end of this for you? And everybody's goal is going to be a little bit different. But what is the goal? If it's your business, what is your goal at the end of all of this? If it's your family, what is the goal at the end of it? If it's your friends, what's the goal at the end of all of this for you? And each category probably fits for all of us. What is that goal? And the goal starts with a mindset. The goal starts with a mindset. But in order to have a mindset, what do you have to have? This is where I'm going to transition into a presentation I did a little while back. I won't go through everything, but I certainly want to talk about certain things. So how do you get a mindset? What do you have to have? You have to have a purpose. Yeah, you have to have a purpose. So I want you to think for a minute right now. I want you to think about what the word purpose means. And guys, the word purpose here is contrary to what you think it is. It's not a goal. It's not a goal. Okay? But the purpose, it's your message. It's your message. And my fingers are pointing to you. It's your message. And right now, you are having a great effect on people in your household. And if you think they're not watching what you do, what you eat, and how you act, you're crazy. That includes my wife, my kids, anybody. So it's your message to yourself in which you project to your family, friends, when you're at work, your coworkers, Basically, it's what you're projecting to the world. That's what your purpose is. And right now, I can tell you this. If you have young athletes or young kids in your house and you're not taking care of your physical activity, your husband, I can guarantee you they're not doing it either, for the most part. I guarantee it. Because you affect them and they affect you, and you guys feed off each other. You have a great opportunity, right? Whether you want to try to inspire others, whether you want to lead others, I don't know. Everybody's going to be different in their purpose. But everybody has an obstacle right now, right? Everybody has an obstacle, and there are several obstacles. You literally, even though you're home, you have a million things to do every day. You still have to go to the store. You still have to get gas. You still have to cook dinners. You have to go get dinner. You have to make sure the house is taken care of, the kids, the schooling, all that is done, okay? If you don't prioritize these things, then you don't have a clear purpose. You don't have a clear purpose. Now, everybody's going to tell me about Vince. Life got turned upside down. Pivot. We just talked about that. Pivot. You just haven't pivoted yet. Just haven't pivoted yet. How long is it going to take? Some people will go through this entire process and have never pivoted. So there's the old saying, right? If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. Always. You have to decide what that is you want for you. So by having that message, that purpose, whatever that message is that you want to project to others, you've taken the first step to what? Your new personal growth. Your new personal growth. Why is new personal growth so important? Well, the answer to that is now you're on task to a better you. Now you're on task to a better you. And if you move nothing out of this process that we've been forced into, that's what I'm just trying to do. I'm just trying to work every day on a better me. And that hurts sometimes because you got to face some things like, wow, that's how my son sees me. In this instant, this is how he sees me. Ooh, something's got to change there. Yeah, even to this day, right? So what does that bring you to? A sense of clarity. Clarity. What's important as opposed to what's unimportant right now, right? Focus on things that make a difference, not on the things that don't make a difference. Too many people sit with their foot tacked to the floor and go in circles on one thing, and they do it all day. And they do it all day. And to me, too many people focus on the things that don't make a difference in their life. Now you're going to be crazy when I say what some of those things are. Earning more money. So many people are focused on earning more money. For me, let me just keep what I got. Let me be able to help others, and I'm okay. I never expected to be a millionaire. And actually, all more money does is breed more problems, more stress. So I just want to be able to give to people everything I got. Because in the end, that's all I've got. Right? For some people, maybe they want to have more houses, more cars, and don't want to do this. Hey. When you define your purpose, things become really, really clear of what's important and what's not important. We are so willing to invest in everything but ourselves. When we invest in ourselves, then you can go get the things you want to get, and everything is attainable. So don't look at this situation as being bleak. Please don't do that. Because my sense is if we're looking at it that way, then we're looking at it from the things we talked about before, which is making more money and having more cars and having more houses. Is that really important? I have one house. I'm really happy with my 2,500 square foot house. I don't need any more than that. I got my wife, she's healthy. I got my kids, they're healthy. I don't need any more than that. But I've always been that way. Always. I've always been that way because I was brought up that way. I was brought up in a very humble home, and that's what I teach my kids. So again, folks, focus on the important versus the unimportant right now. The 80-20 rule that I always tell you guys. Denise, can you please mute your device? Please. Let me see if I can mute all. There we go. All right, good. Okay. The 80-20 rule, guys, doesn't apply just to your fuel plan. You know, 80% of your week, you're going to do really good. 20% of your week, probably not going to be so good, and that's okay. Focus on 20% big rocks. This week, moving forward, focus on 20% big rocks. Rocks that matter to you. The rock that matters to you. Rocks, if you will. And everyone's 20% is going to be different. Health, food, sleep, whatever. But it leads to maximum change. When you focus on the 20% of those rocks, it will lead to maximum change, whatever you want that change to be. Okay? However, you can't know what your 20% rocks are without knowing what your purpose is. And I really want you to think about this because this is a fact. You will continue spinning your wheels in the same direction you did, and you're going to go, at the end of this week, I'm no further ahead than I was last week. But with a clear direction, with a clear purpose, focusing on the important versus the unimportant, and do it for each day. The 20% of those rocks, by the end of that week, something in your week will have changed. I promise you that. Live the life of meaning. And I work really, for me personally, I'm really trying to work hard on this. Live the life of meaning. When you do, your life becomes filled with what? Direction. You have the direction you want to go. How many of you have, think about this, have put a goal in front of you? You focused on the important part to getting to that goal and filtered out all the unimportant stuff. And you achieved the goal. You wouldn't have done that if you didn't have the purpose and it wasn't filled with direction and meaning to have that higher goal, that higher life, whatever that is. Think about you business owners out there. You had to have a direction. You had to have a business plan. You had to stick to that business plan. Because if you didn't get to the end goal, which would be opening up the restaurant, opening up the sales office, opening up the, keep going. Okay? Having that purpose means you can find that item in your life that is rewarding to you. You can find people in that life to share the same values to help build that higher life for you. Yeah, that means, guys, I hate to say this, but in all of our lives, we sometimes have things, whether it be people, whether it be items, whether it be stuff that we have to clean out and get rid of because it's not positive to your direction. That's huge right there. That's huge right there because every garden has snakes. You got to weed your garden. And this is a great time to do it. This is a great time to do this. Weed your garden of weeds and snakes. I won't go too deep into that, but that's a fact. I need you to remember that finding your purpose doesn't mean the road to success isn't under construction, because it's always under construction. Okay? You still have to put the work in. You still got to grind, folks. Every single day we got to grind. And if you have a purpose, and for our group, it's to make a difference in people's lives. And I can tell you right now, your coaches, this team is working harder than ever to try to bring that to you. It's just bringing it to you in a new way. You know, last week I said, we're going to give you every tool in the book that we can give you for you to be successful at home, to relieve your stress, and to help you sustain and move forward in your workout and physical activity goals. Well, it's like any toolbox. If you don't use the tools, you can't build and finish the project. And look at what's happening to your health, which is the biggest project you could be working on. Look what's happening to your health in the meantime. Okay? Look at where I'm hearing a lot of people say, yeah, Vince, well, I'm doing my runs. Okay, that's great. That's great. What are you doing for your strength? Because while you're running, you're losing your strength. I hope you all know that. While I'm riding that bike 20, 30 miles, I'm losing strength. Endurance athletes need power, folks. I don't know if you figured that one out. And power athletes need endurance. So don't think because you're doing one, you're satisfying the other. That is not happening. That's a whole nother subject. Okay? So, consistent drive and passion. Purpose makes you excited and fills you with energy. It absolutely does. But think about this for a moment. How many of you right now, and just think about it, get out of bed and you're dragging? You do only what's needed during that day, and sometimes you're waking up reluctantly. That's lack of purpose. That's lack of purpose right there. I can do the workout later. Oh, my day is filled with Zoom calls. Whoa, 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 woe is me. Make an appointment just like you do every day for yourself to take care of your physical activity or whatever your purpose is. Make the appointment and do it. Make the appointment and do it. Because without it, you have lack of purpose. You've lost sight of what your message is. However, when you feel that energy, when you feel that passion and you're excited every day, every morning you get up and you're excited about going and doing something, don't know what that is, to work on what you want to create, now you become filled up inside. Now you become filled up inside. Other than that, you're empty. You're empty. And guess what? If your partner doesn't want to work out with you, that's okay. I'm going to work out right there, right in front of you, and I'm going to show you what you should be doing. I'll give you a great example of it. Yesterday, I went for a mountain bike ride. Didn't go far, about 9 miles, climbed about 900 feet. It was great. That was cool. But then I got home, And Isabella, my daughter, said to me, Dad, you're probably tired. You probably don't want to do the kettlebell workout. Well, what she was probably telling me was she didn't want to do the kettlebell workout. I said, no, let's go. Let's grab the bells. Well, where do you want to do it? Mom's car is in the garage. I said, yeah, that's good. Just bring them up here on the stairs. We'll do them right on the stairs. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm positive. Go grab them. Go grab yours. Let's go. What if I would have told her, yeah, you're right. I'm tired. I really don't want to do it this late at night. And by the way, it was at 6 o'clock. What message am I sending out? What is my purpose? If my purpose is to make a difference, if my purpose is to keep my family healthy during this time, think about how many workouts you've missed and the message you're sending out. The biggest message is to yourself, because if you miss today, it's going to be really easy for you to miss tomorrow. Really easy to miss tomorrow. So that's just a little bit on purpose, guys. So when you get done today, please take 5 minutes by yourself. Try to reorganize and try to find that purpose to do what? De-stress. De-stress, right? I mean, some inactive ways you can de-stress are what? Maybe watch TV, surf the internet, play a video game. It may seem relaxing, but it may also increase your stress. All right? Be sure to get plenty of sleep. Eat healthy. If your symptoms continue to escalate, maybe at that time it's time to go see and get some help, from a professional. Okay. So let's talk about de-stressing. And I really kind of want to talk about the workouts for a minute. So again, I'm hearing people say to me a couple of things. One, I'm finding it hard to work out. Well, you just don't have that mindset. You don't have that purpose. Okay. You got to reevaluate that and think about when we're able to go to the gyms and do things, what's any different now? So let me go to point number 2. When you're at home, I know this is going to sound crazy for me to say this to you. For those of you who saw the Facebook Live, you've heard it before. You don't have to use weights, folks. The workouts that have been given to you, you can just go body weight and you can make them as difficult as you want just by doing time under tension. 5 count push-ups, 8 count squats, hands by your ears. Stand about 4 inches away from the wall. If you start leaning toward the wall, you know you're in poor orthopedic positioning. But remember, we are all going through a stressful time. Why would we add more stress to the body? By doing what? Adding lots of weights. Now, I'm not telling you not to do that. If you have a means of doing that and you can load and you feel okay, then go ahead by all means and do it. But this is a perfect time for you to work on the imbalances in your body. Work on the exercises that you're having a difficult time with. Do a lot of single leg, single arm work. We call that unilateral type movements. Okay, put the leg up on the bench, go 4 or 5 count down on a single leg squat. Heel to midfoot, chest tall, right? Breathe in on the way down. Why? Extend the spine, right? Breathe out at the top. Work on your breathing. You don't have to load, folks, but you do have to strength train. This is a great time to work on the exercises that you have a difficult time with and master them. Well, how do I do more push-ups? It's real simple. Do as many push-ups as you can do, and then go to the eccentric push-up, right? 5 counts on the way down. Get up however you got to get up and do it again. Do 2 or 3 more of those at the end of the set, right? Once that becomes better, then load it a little bit. Maybe you have a little weight at home you could put on your back, or better yet, you want to load it even more? Go ahead and put a cone on your back and make sure the cone, or a foam roller, and make sure it doesn't fall off. Did I load it with heavy weights? No. Follow the process, folks. Remember, at the end of all of this, what is it you really want? What do you want at the end of all this? Do you want to be where you were at in the beginning? Or do you want to be a step ahead? Because let me kind of give you guys my thoughts here, where this is going. I don't think we're going back to just open our doors and everybody's go flock. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to take the measures to go back slowly, just as they came down slowly. Social distancing will be with us forever. We just have to be creative with how we do it. And for me, one of the things I'm going to prepare for is what's October, November, December going to look like? Because I'm going to guess, and I mean, I hope we do, I'm going to guess we're not going to have a vaccine for this yet. Not by October, November. And if you listen to anything, they're saying 18 months of anything that's being tested right now. Okay? Then the FDA's got to approve it. So I think we'll come back slowly. We have to come back. We will come back. But things will be a little bit forever different. And that's, in some cases, not a bad thing. It's the mindset. It's the mindset we have to have. Okay? So today, go back and think about a couple of things. Evaluate where the stresses are in your life. And really spend some time thinking about what that's causing your body to do. Is it a headache? Is it anxiety? Is it restlessness? If restlessness, what's that an indicator of? Is it muscle tension, right? Irritability. How can I bring humor into the day? Sadness, depression. Go and examine. And then, like I said to you, what was the first key that I gave you guys to getting rid of some of those symptoms? Getting regular physical activity. Then examine why you guys aren't doing and getting your regular physical activity. And I'm talking coaches, I'm talking everybody. Because if you notice when it's done, you feel so much better. Why wouldn't you do something that makes you feel better? Instead of the things that don't make you feel better, which leads to what? The stress indicators. Overeating, undereating. Social withdrawal. More alcohol. And these are all hypotheticals, guys. I don't know. Everybody's life is different. Only you know what's going on in your life. But with a clear purpose, focusing on what's important instead of what's unimportant, reevaluate. How is it that you, moving forward, want people to see you? And guys, I am not a hypocrite. I'm one of the first people to tell you I made more mistakes in my life than people would ever want to be a friend of mine for. And that's a fact. But guess what I did? I had to come to Jesus, and I've owned all of mine. Every one of them. Some people got to take that mask off and start owning yours. Because guess what? We are coming out of this, and we are going to come out of this better than we ever went into this. I guarantee you that. As I told the people I talked to yesterday, I am relentless. You can take everything from me, but you can't take me. I'm not going to let that happen. And if it ever happened that I wasn't here, then hopefully you will have some tools to move forward. Go, yeah, that fat strength coach one day, yeah, he told me this stuff, right? It's a fact. It's a fact. I told somebody yesterday, I have lived more things in my life than most people can't even put their head on a pillow and dream about at night. And I've lived it. And there's some folks out there, not many, but there's one out there right now that knows exactly what I'm talking about. From where I grew up, how I grew up, and the massive struggles. To me, this is exciting. I love pressure. I love pressure because at the end of the day, what can you take from me? You only take my physical things. So I'm not letting you take anything else. You will have to kill me to take whatever else you want from me. But that's my mindset. That's my mindset, folks. And every morning I get up, I have the same thoughts you do. You know, how many people today, how much money, economics, unemployment. Yeah, I don't think I don't pay attention to it. It's not my focus. It's not my focus. My focus is sitting right there in your cameras. That's my focus. And I'll be damned if I'm not giving you 100% of what we've got here. I'll be damned if my coaches aren't working their butts off to try to give you guys everything they've got, because that's the focus. You have to take advantage of that without the excuses. Without the excuses, guys. Because we all have them. They're all out there. They're set out there for you. You can take advantage of the excuses too if you want. But the real people behind the scenes, man, I already know what time it is. So you guys are doing a spectacular job. Spectacular. But guess what? And this isn't doom and gloom, guys. We got till the end of April. Sink your feet in and let's get it right. Sink your feet in and go, okay, man, I got this. This is a great time for me to go and evaluate where I want to be at the end of this. And guys, I talked about it, the three mindsets. You got to have discipline. You got to have discipline. You got to have Disney-like creativity in your life right now. Last thing I thought I'd be doing on a Thursday night was doing a puzzle with my wife, but guess what? We were doing a puzzle last night. Disney-like creativity. Things aren't the way they used to be. Pivot. Pivot. Know your purpose. And follow the process. Follow the process. I think personally, I think we're doing a good job with social distancing. I really do. I think we're doing better. I think you guys, have seen everything out there. I mean, you've seen the streets. I had a friend of mine the other day from New York send me 57th Avenue. I couldn't believe it. In my life, I've never seen 57th Avenue and only 5 cars on it. 57th Avenue, Broadway, that's the busiest intersection in New York City, Manhattan. And there were 5 cars. No people. He was walking in the middle of the street. And the only reason he was in the middle of the street is he went to the grocery store to get some stuff he needed and was headed back home. Never in my life had I seen it like that. So things are different, folks. But if you pivot and you just don't sit there and keep getting bombarded, you're going to come out of this a whole lot better than when you went into it. So mindset, discipline, Disney-like creativity, physical exercise, Go out and support people. Please. I'm, again, gracious and so overwhelmed by your guys' support. I can't believe it. It's incredible to me. Okay? The coaches are working countlessly to get you moving, keep you moving. Don't resist that process. It's not perfect, guys. It's not perfect. But it wasn't meant to be perfect. Unless everybody's got a 60-inch screen TV sitting in your house and you can see it perfectly, it's still not perfect. Be accepting of that. Be grateful for what we are able to do. The things we get to do, not have to do. Okay? We're lucky. We're lucky. Okay? If you get up and your body hurts, move. Move. Why? Blood, oxygen, you got to get it moving around. Most people, oh, my shoulder hurts, so I'm not going to work out today. Really? Really? Try working out. Watch how much better that shoulder feels. Okay? It's a mindset, guys. It's a mindset. Take care of each other. Okay? During this time, there are other entities that need your support. Go support them. Go support them. They're working countless hours to try to keep everything they've got, just like you are, afloat. For those of you who are working, go support them. Be the leader in the community. Be that voice. Be that beacon of light. Be the subject of change. That's how we're going to do this. And we can't do it unless we do it together. I can't drive that point home enough. Get with your groups. Somebody take the lead. Get a Zoom call going. Social interaction at this time is so important. Community is so important. We all strive for that. Let's face it, that's why we come, that's why we work out, that's why we choose to be around the people we choose to be around, because that social interaction is huge. We can create it right here and have fun with it. So go out today, take some time, think about this, revisit this conversation. Pick some things from it that are going to help you. And just know my purpose is to keep you guys together, is to keep you guys healthy, keep you guys safe, continue practicing your distancing, even when you're out doing your things. Right now, I ride by myself and I stay away from everybody. Okay? Clean things down when you're done. Great opportunities, guys. Take care of yourselves. Does anybody have any questions for me on the topics today? And basically, the topics today were your purpose, stress, and de-stress. Right? Be creative with yourselves, with your kids. Be creative with them. Teach them things now that they probably would never have learned until they got to adulthood. How to do the wash, how to clean the sink, how to put the dishes away, how to balance a checkbook, how to plant a plant in the backyard. My son and I, unfortunately, we had an issue in the backyard. We had to dig some things up, resod, do all that. Do those things. I guarantee you that's going to help them later on down the line. So Disney-like creativity and follow the process. Get up every day and follow the process. Next week when I call, I should not hear from one person, oh no, Vince, I didn't work out today. That is just like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Really? My head just goes like this. Man, if you ain't taking care of you, you're not, I guarantee you, you're giving the same effort to everything else around you, and people know that. People see that. We live in a very smart community. communities. Know your purpose. What's that message you want to send out to the world? But you got to live it, breathe it every day of the week. It's not a sometime thing. It's an all the time thing. I miss every one of you guys being here, but guess what? We're going to be back here before you know it. And I'm going to do everything I can to make this place with our coaches, they're doing everything they can to make it better when you get back here than what it was before. Guaranteed. That's a guarantee. I'm putting a guarantee on that. So does anybody have any questions? You can unmute if you would like to. If I can answer it, I will. You can direct message me. Well, I'm always available to you. I will always get back to you. Now that things are starting to settle down and paperworks are getting done, and just trust me, even if it's a text. Phone calls are taking me a little bit longer, but we're going to get there. And I know the coaches are in contact with you. Like I said, just please get hold of us. We will take care of you. If you need something individually, get with your coach. They'll work that out for you. Okay? That's why we went to the live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Take advantage of it. You may meet somebody new that you just, boom, you click with. There's a lot of opportunity here, folks, as opposed to looking at it like there's not a lot of opportunity. But the opportunity resides in you. It resides in you. The choices you make today will be the ones that affect tomorrow, whatever that is. So, guys, I love every one of you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Anything I can do for you, I absolutely will take care of. Your coaches, they're doing a great job. I can't appreciate them enough. And so any questions you have at this moment, please ask me. If no questions, I want you guys to please go out, and thank you for being here. We'll be here again, same time next Saturday. Wednesday, I'll be doing another Facebook Live. It'll go out to you guys, announcement, probably between 1 and 2. We'll touch on a little different topic. I'll get some posts out from training sessions. And guys, the way we get through this is we do it together. We do it together. Remember, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you always got. And the reason why most people fail instead of succeed in life is they trade what they want the most for what they want at the moment. Go enjoy your Saturday. Go get that cup of coffee. Go get that workout in today. Go get that mobility in. The one other thing I did want to mention real quick, and I forgot, in your workouts, don't think you have to do the hour all at one time, because you don't. You can break it down into 20-minute sessions and get it done that way throughout your day too, if you're on calls and different things. So I just wanted to touch base on that just real quick. Okay. Love you guys. Hey, go out. My hearts are with you all week long. And let's go do this together, huh? Have a great day. Great weekend, guys. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Vince.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
You betcha.